This is KVUE News Night Beat.
A mother missing, her family troubled over several Facebook posts. Police are now investigating. 1 year later, a campus rocked by a brutal murder remembers the changes at UT and where the trial for her accused killer stands. And the future of AISD on the table tonight. We're live at the meeting. Hi everyone, I'm Mike Rush. Keisha Wilson will join us in just a moment. We start tonight with a developing story. The search spans from Austin to Corpus Christi for a missing mother who has not been heard from since a mysterious Facebook post this weekend. The Night Beat's Jason Puckett joins us to explain why Austin police say this is suspicious.
Yeah, Mike, this is certainly a strange situation, to say the least. A woman missing after a weekend in Corpus Christi. The only info family and friends have is a Facebook post from her account claiming to be someone else who found her body and phone. This all happening the day after April Fool's, but right now, this doesn't look anything like a prank.
First, it's important that if you've seen this woman, you immediately call Austin police. This is Keisha Wilson, according to APD, last seen Sunday on Maynard Road. They say, quote, circumstances have arisen that create a concern for her welfare. Now, that may sound vague, but to family and friends, it means this. A Facebook post on Keisha's account saying in part that the poster is on the run and that they, quote, found her dead. Later adding they just wanted to let them know that her body was found. Family and friends say this immediately had them concerned, calling morgues and hospitals around the area with no one being able to find Keisha.
Social media is so very, very important. Families can get together and they can go to social media. They can find all kinds of people.
Jerry Dean, the founder of Missing Persons of America, explained Monday that this waiting period is often the worst for the family.
A lot of times a missing person will fall into this hole where they're not being looked for, tips are not being brought in, and that poor case just sits there and nothing is happening with it.
More confusing, Keisha's account posted this as well, saying she's okay and that someone had stolen her phone. But friends tell me that's not good enough. She still hasn't been seen, and the writing and responses following on her Facebook account don't seem like her at all. Another big question we're working to answer right now with APD is where Keisha's young daughter is tonight. Family and friends tell me she hasn't been seen either, and APD say they are currently looking into that. Of course, if you do know anything, please call APD. For now, here live in the newsroom, I'm Jason Puckett, KVUE News Night Beat.
All right, thanks, Jason. 1 year ago tonight, UT freshman Haruka Weiser was walking to her dorm. She never made it. Weiser was attacked and killed. Her body found a day and a half later along Waller Creek behind the UT Alumni Center. Her death changed the campus. Not only did security become a serious discussion, but for weeks after, grief hung in the air. Keisha Wilson is at the UT campus tonight. And Keisha, what is the atmosphere like on the campus?
Well, Mike, I'd have to say tonight things are very somber and very quiet. It's a very different feel from the fear that people were feeling out here just a year ago when it was discovered that someone had made his way onto campus and claimed the life of an innocent young woman. Now, the outpouring of grief over Haruka Weiser's death was deep. It was heartfelt because for the people here, she was one of them. She was a Longhorn, and she was part of the UT family. KVUE's Brandon Jones joins me now. He also attended a memorial service for Weiser tonight on campus at the base of the tower. And Brandon, I know for quite a few people out there, 1 year later, they still have not recovered from this loss.
Yeah, Keisha, it was very emotional tonight. You know, during the memorial, we saw some tears, people lit some candles. A lot of them told me that she had a positive effect on their life. And so tonight, they had a chance to say their final goodbyes.
A year ago today, we lost a young student, Haruka Weiser. In the days that followed her death, this campus changed.
It was, and still is, difficult to understand and process. Even though many of us didn't know Haruka, we felt the loss as a community and the need to come together, to mourn, to encourage each other, and to try to find ways to move forward.
We want to remember that day in a special way, so everyone will always remember who she was.
Now the Carillon bells in the tower will chime 18 times to represent the 18 years of Haruka's life.
Today, you know, we were out at the Alumni Center where some students had actually put some flowers down at the Hope statue, and you can still see there is a sense of security that's needed here on this campus.
All right, Brandon Jones, thank you very much for being here with us tonight. And Weiser was a dance major from Portland, and when news of her death spread, the dance community felt an immeasurable loss.
All in shock and angry and confused and heartbroken. She's going to be missed.
Weiser's body was found nearly 2 days after her disappearance, and for another 3 days, police across the area desperately searched for her killer. Surveillance video ultimately led authorities to a suspect, Mikael Kreiner. The 19-year-old is charged with capital murder in Weiser's death. He was 17 at the time and in CPS custody, but apparently had run away from a foster home. Just recently, we learned Kreiner will not be offered a plea deal, so a jury will decide his fate. His trial is set to start in October. He faces up to life in prison if convicted. Weiser's death started a major security discussion on the University of Texas campus. The Department of Public Safety studied vulnerable areas all around the campus. And after their findings, the campus added a lot more lights, tightened access to buildings, and expanded the volunteer program, Shore Walk. And as things wrap up here tonight, it's clear that Haruka Weiser's memory will live on for so many people on the UT campus. And I want to share a statement with you made by her family tonight. Part of it says, on the day that she died, Haruka became an angel for everyone. Her light lifts our hearts even when we are in the darkest moments of our life. Her light continues to remind us of the goodness in us, in all humankind. And Mike, the university will never forget what happened a year ago, and it is very clear students here also want to make sure that Weiser's memory lives on. Back to you in the studio.
All right, thanks, Quita. Such a tragic story. Unfortunately, we've got another one to pass along to you this evening. Friends and family remembering 3 teenage girls who were killed in a car crash this weekend. Isabella Torres and Taylor Mendez were both 17 and sisters. June Smith was 18. The Round Rock School District confirms one was a student at Round Rock High. Friends say another used to go to Round Rock, and the third went to McNeil High. They were killed when their car crashed into a charter bus on Highway 71 near Spicewood. One student describes them all as sweet, sociable girls and says the students are shocked by what happened. Another student tells KVUE some students didn't go to school today because they were just too upset.
Everyone's been talking about it and how sad it's been that such sweet, sociable, friendly girls could get into such a bad car accident and die from it.
There are 2 GoFundMe pages for the families. You can find those links on KVUE.com. The crash is still under investigation. Cell phone video taken just before a deadly church bus crash will be an important part of figuring out what led to the tragedy. The video shows a pickup truck driven by Jack Dylan Young moments before it crashed head-on with a van from First Baptist Church of New Braunfels. 13 of the 14 people on board died. The NTSB is analyzing the video. Investigators also took toxicology samples from both drivers and have pulled cell phone records. Investigators don't think Young was wearing a seatbelt, while most, if not all, of the people in the church van were.
Sunshine and dry air courtesy of a west wind boosting temperatures into the low 90s earlier today. 90 degrees here in Austin. That tied the record set back in 1989. But now temperatures are cooling into the low 60s in Fredericksburg. Low 70s here in Austin. 64 degrees in Giddings. The wind more out of the south, and it will be gusty tomorrow. Light tonight, but some wind gusts as high as 25 miles per hour possible tomorrow, and that could propel temperatures once again to record-setting levels. Our stormy weather pattern taking a break for a couple of days, but it is an extended forecast when storms return to central Texas coming up.
All right, Albert, thanks. The recommendations for the future of AISD are still on the table tonight. The Board of Trustees continues to discuss the facility's master plan presented to them last week. The Night Beat's Tina Shively is live outside the board's meeting on West 6th Street. Hey, Tina.
Hey, Mike. Yeah, between last week's presentation and tonight, the board has come up with 20 amendments, and that's what they're hashing out right now. It all began when Trustee Cowan asked if educational assessments made of a school will be done when kids are actually in class. Trustee Wagner then asked if sending out a review team twice would be a financial burden. The amendment failed 4-5. Before this whole amendment review began tonight, AISD superintendent said that no matter what happens here, the plan is a living document that will change during long-term planning.
The work that we have ahead of us is complex. This is a 20 to 25-year roadmap. Individual questions about a bond or what's going to be done or the design or boundaries will come, and the board will take individual votes.
A little background now on that master plan. It looked at every single school in AISD and broke them into 7 categories to be dealt with in 3 separate time frames, the longest 25 years. It was all created by the Facilities and Bond Planning Advisory Committee, or FABPAC, a group of 18 community members who began researching the schools more than a year ago. So again, the vote on the plan has not happened. We're told it will not happen until all 20 amendments are discussed tonight. We will continue to follow this and bring you the very latest. We are live at AISD headquarters tonight. Tina Shively, KVUE News Night Beat.